Look at the question and the text and see if you can answer it. You may also read the text first and then the question. Pause the video and give it a try. I personally like to read the text first and then I answer the questions, or I look at the questions to see if I can answer them. But, well, the answer to this question actually is based on this part of the text. All right, at this point, I would obviously read the text first. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Until quite recently, okay, regulations have made the construction of difficult. So until recently, there were these regulations or rules, and they were difficult. Because of them, we couldn't really build large buildings in Japan. However, in recognition of new technologies, so because of these technologies, these are being relaxed by the government. So the government is relaxing something, and plus the technologies, we have these amazing results of new projects now. All right, perhaps the most radical example is the proposed tower, skyscraper to be built. Okay, so this sentence is talking about example for one of those ambitious projects which are happening because of these changes. All right, I think I got it. Now let's look at the question. No more than 2 words, got it. New technologies, which I read in the text already, and knew another thing. All right, make large buildings such as blah blah possible. Okay, so because of these 2 things, building such big buildings as possible. All right, what is the answer? Now, most of you might just go directly to this sentence because, well, of the keyword submit or tower, or some people went a little bit before because of the technologies. Now, I understand why you might consider or decide to look there, but do you think the answer is there? Now, these keywords are not as helpful, actually. Well, they can tell you where to read around, but they don't actually tell you where exactly to read. So that's why you have to read around anyways to determine what the answer is. I know some people chose the word government. Some people chose the word skyscraper or ambitious or just projects. Do you think these are the answers? Let's see. New technologies, right, and new thing. What is another thing that happened? And because of them, we have these large buildings. So if we start with the ending, we see the synonym for this part. Yeah, let's highlight this part in a different color. So these things are happening is a result of this part, right? So, and this is just one example of such ambitious projects that are happening. And because of what? In the previous sentence here, we learned that we have some technologies. Yep, check, okay. But what about this part? What about the rest part, right? So now we need to find a synonym for this part. To understand that, you need to actually make connections between these 2 sentences. However, why there is this however? This is very, very important because it is telling you that there's something essential. All right, so however what? These is crucial here. That's called a referencing. Do you know what referencings do, or references? They link ideas. They connect to something before. If you think that these is referring to the word technologies, well, think again. And if you put that word technologies in the context and read the sentence, does that make sense? Can we say technologies are being relaxed by the government? What's that? It doesn't make sense. Besides, these 2 parts, you see, like this chunk of the information is separated by a comma like this. So it cannot be the answer. It's kind of separate on its own. So these must be referring to something that was said before, somewhere here. Now, what could be relaxed or made easier by the government? It must be something, maybe regulations, because we cannot make the structures easier. That doesn't also make sense. So you see, you're looking for grammar and logic when answering such questions. And the answer is regulations. Regulations means rules. So government, there were these regulations, there were these rules, and because they were, I don't know, crazy complex or whatever, complicated, that we couldn't build such buildings. But now these regulations are changing. Government is making them a little bit easier, so now we can build big projects. Do you see how this part is the answer to the question? Now, to understand that, you had to connect referencing these to the first part and then understand the second part, which is part of the paraphrase here, and then the rest of the answer. So to understand one mistake like that or one question in the answer like that, you needed to look at 3 sentences, right? Instead of just one line or one sentence or one couple of or 2 words like that. So bottom line is, working on mistakes like that is crucial, but how you really learn from working on mistakes? What is the lesson from this mistake? Not that, oh, I should be just more careful next time. Well, that might not be enough actually. Lesson from the mistake. For me, if I were you, I would actually make a note of my mistakes like that so I can keep track of them and in the future avoid these mistakes, is to pay attention to references. Because they link ideas. Because they are important and link ideas. And to answer one question, you needed to get the ideas from a couple of sentences like that.